Welcome to Fostering Resilience. I'm Dr. KJ Foster. In today's video, I'm sharing information with you about cognitive distortions. Let's start with what are cognitive distortions. Cognitive distortions are habitual ways of thinking that are often inaccurate and negatively biased. Cognitive distortions usually develop over time in response to adverse events. Cognitive distortions are common in individuals with a substance use disorder. In the 1960s, psychiatrist Aaron Beck pioneered research on cognitive distortions in his development of a treatment method known as cognitive behavioral therapy. To learn more about cognitive behavioral therapy, I've created a video. A link is provided at the end of this video. Common examples of cognitive distortions. All or nothing thinking. You see things in black and white categories. If your performance falls short of perfect, you see yourself as a total failure. Overgeneralization. You see a single negative event as a never-ending pattern of defeat. Mental filter. You pick out a single negative detail and dwell on it exclusively so that your vision of all reality becomes darkened. Like the drop of ink that discolors the entire beaker of water. Disqualifying the positive. You reject positive experiences by insisting they don't count for some reason or other. In this way, you can maintain a negative belief that is contradicted by your everyday experiences. Jumping to conclusions. You make a negative interpretation even though there are no definitive facts that convincingly support your conclusions. Mind reading. You arbitrarily conclude that someone is reacting negatively to you, and you don't bother to check this out. Magnification, catastrophizing, or minimization. You exaggerate the importance of things, such as your goof-up or someone else's achievement, or you inappropriately shrink things until they appear tiny, your own desirable qualities or the other person's imperfections. This is also called the binocular trick. Emotional reasoning. You assume that your negative emotions necessarily reflect the way things really are. I feel it, therefore it must be true. Should statements. You try to motivate yourself with should and shouldn't, as if you had to be whipped and punished before you could be expected to do anything. Musts and oughts are also offenders. The emotional consequence is guilt. When you direct should statements toward others, you feel anger, frustration, and resentment. Stop shoulding on yourself. Labeling and mislabeling. This is an extreme form of overgeneralization. Instead of describing your error, you attach a negative label to yourself. I'm a loser. Or you attach a negative label to him or her. He or she is an idiot. Mislabeling involves describing an event with language that's highly colored and emotionally loaded. Personalization. You see yourself as the cause of some negative event, which in fact you were not primarily responsible for. Fortune telling. You anticipate that things will turn out badly. Here are even more examples of cognitive distortions. Underestimating your ability to cope with negative events. Catastrophizing. Thinking of unpleasant events as catastrophes. Unrelenting standards. The belief that achieving unrelentingly high standards is necessary to avoid a catastrophe. Entitlement beliefs. believing the same rules that apply to others should not apply to you. Seeing a situation only from your own perspective. Using feelings as the basis of a judgment when the objective evidence does not support your feelings. Blaming others. Overvaluing things because they're yours. Failure to consider alternative explanations by rigidly refusing to look at it any other way. Attributing a stranger's behavior to their character and not considering situational or contextual factors. Assumed similarity. The tendency to assume other people hold similar attitudes to your own. In-group bias. The tendency to trust and value people who are like you or who are in your circle more than people from different backgrounds. You don't know what you don't know. Getting external feedback can help you become aware of things you didn't even know that you didn't know. The belief that worry and overthinking will lead to problem-solving insights. The belief that you can multitask, repeating the same behavior and expecting different results. Thinking, I can't change my behavior, or I can't change my thinking style. How to fix cognitive distortions. Identify the cognitive distortion. The most important first step is in the awareness of the distorted thinking. Therapy is a useful tool in gaining important awareness regarding cognitive distortions you may be experiencing. Examine the evidence. Much like a scientist, objectively examining your experience will help identify the basis for the distorted thinking. Eliminate the double standard. Instead of treating yourself and others with a different standard than you would hold everyone else to, why not use one standard and include yourself? Practice shades of gray. Challenge polarized thinking in terms of always and never statements, and practice statements such as sometimes and occasionally. Survey method. The survey method is focused on asking others in a similar situation about their experiences to determine how irrational our thoughts might be. The semantic method. Every time you find yourself using a should statement, try substituting a statement like, it would be nice if, instead. This semantic difference can work wonders in your own mind as you stop shoulding on yourself and start looking at the world in a more positive manner. Cost-benefit analysis. In this technique, it's helpful to list the advantages and disadvantages of feelings, thoughts, and behaviors. Don't expect to ever be completely free from cognitive distortions. However, the more you become aware of your cognitive distortions and take the time to examine their validity and practice alternate ways of thinking, the stronger, healthier, and more resilient your mindset and thinking will become. Thanks for watching. Check the video description for more information on the Family Recovery Workshop or the self-paced online Family Recovery course. You'll also find links to the Fostering Resilience Warrior Resource Library and to my latest meditation. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Namaste.